start. Get you out early a little bit. My name is Robin Steltz. I'm here to go over the benefits that are effective 7/1. It's the medical, vision, and the flexible spending account. Okay. The good news is we're going to stay with United Healthcare. If you don't have a copy of this presentation, there's some in the front, so you can take some on your way out. So your doctors and hospitals will not change. We're going to stay with United Healthcare Oxford. Okay. There's going to be 2 plan options. The plan options did change, but again, 2 options like we did last year. The vision this year is also going to be through United Healthcare. Last year was through Horizon. We didn't have time to change it when we changed carriers. This year it is through United Healthcare. And you can actually, if you don't want the vision, you can waive the vision. If you don't need the medical, but you need the vision, this year you can actually opt into vision. Okay? You can actually, if you just need medical for yourself, but you need vision for your family or your spouse, you can do that as well. So it's a little more flexible this year. Either you waive it or you can opt in for it. Okay? Also, the vision, the medical is available to any eligible employee who works 30 hours or more. The vision is available to any employee who works 20 hours or more. Okay? So it is an extra benefit for those that don't quite work 30 hours. We're going to continue the HRA, the health reimbursement arrangement we've had in for a couple of years now, where Keystone reimburses you a portion of your deductible. The catastrophic fund, where Keystone reimburses you some of your co-insurance if you have a hospitalization or a surgery. And then again, it's FSA open enrollment. If you're in the flexible spending account or interested, there's a separate form. It's in the back. You will not automatically be re-enrolled in that. You have to fill out a form, and that's kind of IRS regulations. This is just a reminder that in the medical plans, both plans cover preventive services at 100%. Okay? They want you, the insurance companies want you to get your routine physicals. Anything that's caught early on costs less for you, costs less for the insurance company, and then keeps your payroll contributions down. So for women, mammograms age 40 and over, your annual mammograms covered at 100%. No deductibles, no copays, okay, as long as you go in network. Same with OBGYN, okay, covered at 100%. So they want you to do that every year, make sure you're signing up for it. Colonoscopies aged 50 and over for men and women are covered at 100%. So again, very important screening to get. All your kids' immunizations and well checkup visits. If you want to go for a routine physical, you can go for a routine physical. Get your cholesterol checked, your blood work checked, your blood pressure checked, covered at 100%. Okay, so again, just a reminder that it's there, no out of pocket for you, so schedule those appointments, that would be great. So again, there's 2 plans. There's an EPA 4, it's called this year, and a Plan 6. Majority of you will be in the Plan 6. 4 is like a base plan, a buy-up plan. So again, it has a lower deductible. It costs more out of your pocket, out of your paycheck. Plan 6 is comparable to the Plan 10 we had last year, which is lower out of your pocket. I think it's $65 for single coverage, but that's pre-tax, so it's about $52 that comes out of your pocket. If you will need to find a provider, there's a website here. Again, copies of these presentations are here, so you don't have to jot it down. And copies of this presentation are on your employee portal too through Keystone. Okay, so if you want to ever refer to it. But you want to make sure you go in network. It does have the blue card, so it does cover providers out of network as well. I mean, out of New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Okay, so this is the what we consider the buy-up plan. It's the EPA 4. It has a $1,500 single deductible, 2 times that for families, so $3,000. That deductible is only applicable to anything that says after deductible. So, in this plan, you go to the office visit, you have a $20 copay. Specialist, $40 copay. So again, very low copays in this plan, but this plan costs you more out of your pocket. Prescription copays are the same on both plans. 25 for generic, 50 for brand, 75 for non-preferred brand, meaning it's an expensive brand. Might cost $300, $500 a month, and there's usually a brand or generic alternative. The only thing that's subject to that deductible is hospitalizations, outpatient hospital. So if you get an x-ray and you go to the hospital to get it, that's considered outpatient hospital. That's going to be subject to your deductible and your co-insurance. Surgery centers, surgeries, that is subject to deductible and then covered at 70% after. 70 meaning United Healthcare pays 70, you pay 30. Okay. X-rays are covered the same way, so you want to make sure it's 70% after the deductible. You want to try to go to an independent X-ray, because again, anything done in a hospital is 3 to 4 times more expensive than an independent lab or independent radiologist. So you want to try not to go inpatient or outpatient hospital if you don't need to. Well, you don't have a choice going to inpatient hospital. You have to go to inpatient. There's nowhere else to go. This plan, and actually both plans, and this is pretty important this year, both plans had an out-of-pocket maximum of $6,350. Now these plans are calendar year. All plans in New Jersey are calendar year. Okay, so they've reset. All the deductibles and coinsurance reset in January. But this is your out-of-pocket maximum. So say you have, next February you have a hospitalization and it's $500,000, or it's $250,000. The most you pay out of your pocket is $6,350, and then all your benefits, including prescriptions, go to 100% for the rest of the calendar year. Okay, so it is nice that it has this out-of-pocket maximum, and both plans, this one and the next one I go over with you, have the same out-of-pocket maximum. So the two plans will pay off the same worst-case scenario. Okay, so important to remember. Now, will you ever have to pay this out? No, because Keystone gives you money in the HRA to help offset this, and they give you money in the CAT fund to help offset this. Okay, so your out-of-pocket max is not quite half, but almost half of what's listed there, because Keystone gives you money towards that. Okay. So this is the plan that most people will be in. It's comparable to the EPO Plan 10 if you were in it last year. So it has a deductible of $2,500. Now keep in mind, Keystone's going to give you money in the HRA to help offset that, actually $1,000. They're going to pay the first $1,000 of your deductible. This plan is very similar to the other plan in that there's no deductible for office visits. There's no deductible for specialists. You just pay your copay and you're done. Same with prescriptions, and the prescriptions copays are the same as they are in the other plan. Okay, so $25 for generic, $50 for brand, $75 for non-preferred brand. None of those are subject to deductible. Lab work, you want to make sure you go to an in-network lab, that's covered at 100%. If you go outpatient hospital, it's going to be subject to deductible, and it's going to have coinsurance of 50% in this plan. So again, the only thing that's subject to deductible is inpatient hospitalizations, surgeries, surgery centers, or outpatient hospital. Okay? And this plan, again, has an out-of-pocket maximum of $6,350, just like the other plan. Okay, so that's your worst-case scenario, but again, Keystone's going to reimburse you a large portion of that. The health reimbursement arrangement, again, both plans have an HRA. The money is funded by Keystone, so it's there for you. It's first dollar in-network deductible expenses only, so it's not prescription copays, it's not our office visit or specialist copays, but anything that's subject to that deductible. So remember, that was hospitalizations, surgeries, x-rays. If you have to have any of those services, just know that you have money in the HRA, and you can call HR administrators if you have any questions. Okay? That resets every January because your deductible, remember I said your deductible resets every January. New Jersey plans are always calendar year, which makes it a little tricky with these, but it's New Jersey. You're special. So how much is Keystone going to give in the HRA? Same as last year. Okay, so if you're in the EPO Plan 4, the first $500 of your deductible will be paid for by Keystone, $1,000 if you have family coverage, employee spouse, employee children coverage. Okay, you automatically get $1,000. And we don't care who in the family uses it. The first one to use it. So say you have employee spouse coverage or employee children coverage, but you're healthy, but your child needs some x-rays or has to have a hospitalization, they can use the whole $2,000 on their deductible. Okay, so we don't care who in the family uses it, but you have it. Okay, so remember that offsets in-network deductible expenses for you. Catastrophic claim. So if you have, it reimburses the second half of your out-of-pocket maximum. So if you have a hospitalization or surgery, just know this fund is there, and then call somebody in HR or call somebody in my office, and we can walk you through how to get reimbursed for it. It's not on the card. You actually have to submit in a claim form to get it. Okay? Doesn't reimburse co-pays. It's just that co-insurance amount. Remember I said it's 70% on one plan and 50% on the other. Okay. The claim form is also on your employee portal, but again, if you just call us, we can get you the information on how to get reimbursed for that. We've had this in for a couple of years too. All right, so this is the amount that they're going to reimburse. Keystone reimburses. Again, very generous. If you're in this plan, $2,425 of your co-insurance Keystone will reimburse you. And remember, on that plan it was $500 of your deductible. This plan, $1,925 of your co-insurance plus $1,000 in the HRA. So again, Keystone's really reimbursing you for a large part of your deductible and co-insurance. And this plan shows it. I know it's hard to see. Again, the presentation is up here. It's just a side-by-side of each plan. But this is what I wanted to show you. So your out-of-pocket maximum. So this plan, if you have single coverage, $6,350. This plan costs a lot more out of your pocket. This one has the same one. Minus the HRA and the cap fund, that's the most you pay out of your pocket in this plan, $3,425. Because Keystone's reimbursing you this much. So that out-of-pocket maximum that looked huge at $6,000, now just went down to $3,425. Okay, and then all your benefits go to 100% for a calendar year. So again, it's the same amount on either side. So just remember that when you're choosing plans. Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know. I'll hang out here. I think we're going to do another meeting after this. Any questions on the medical? So again, the vision this year is separate from the medical. So you have the choice of waiving it or taking it. It's through United Healthcare. You can get an exam and new lenses every year. So you can pay a $10 copay for the exam. If you need lenses or you want to get glasses, it's a $25 copay. Frames are every other year. So you can get a pair of frames. You can get your exam every year. If your prescription changes, you can certainly get a new prescription. You just have to get frames every other year, or you pay for it out of your pocket. So you get up to a $130 allowance on frames, and then a 30% discount on anything over that. So if you want frames that are very expensive, I know I got a pair of Michael Kors, and they were like $250. I would get $130, and then 30% off anything over that. Okay, so you do get a discount. You can get contacts in lieu of glasses, so you can't get both. And if you get their formulary, they're free. If not, you get that same $130 allowance as you get with glasses. You want to try to find a participating provider at United Healthcare. The website is there. Maybe we could just jot down some of the providers that are covered under it. If you don't want to go to one of their providers, you like who you go to for your vision and you don't want to change it, that's fine. You just pay for it up front, and then you have to submit it to get reimbursed. Okay? Again, with the vision plan, it's not tied to the medical. So if you have single coverage for yourself in the medical, but you need vision for you and your spouse or you and your kids, you can choose different tiers, and you'll see it on your enrollment form. So these are the new payroll contributions as of the first pay in July. Again, these are all taken out pre-tax. So the number that's listed here, what actually comes out of your paycheck is about 28 to 30% less than what's listed here. Okay, because it is taken pre-tax. So I think the vision works out to be like, I don't know, 60 cents, 50 cents per pay. So it's pretty inexpensive. Okay, most people were in this plan last year. I have a feeling it'll be the same this year. Any questions on that? All right, so we'll go over the flexible spending account. The FSA, the flexible spending account, is not tied to the medical. It's a separate benefit. So say you waive the medical here, and you're covered under your spouse, you can still put sign up for an FSA. And how many people have FSAs now? Yeah. FSA is a separate bank account. Money that you put it into it is not taxed. So say you put $100 a month in it, only $70 comes out of your paycheck. But you have $100 in a savings account. It's a great thing. The savings account must be used for medical, dental, vision expenses that are not covered by insurance. And they can be used for you in any way that you claim on your income taxes. So even if you just have medical for you, but you're responsible for your kids' braces or office visits, as long as you claim them on your income taxes, you can use your FSA money for them, okay, or spouse. You have to re-enroll for it every year, so if you're in it now, we do need you to fill out another enrollment form, so the IRS requires that. And money in the FSA has to be used up between 7/1 of this year and June of next year, okay? All but $500 will roll over if you don't use it, but you will lose anything above that. So make sure the services have to be incurred between these two dates. So someone came to me the last meeting and said, oh, I want to do an FSA this year. I have hospital bills from last year. Can I use my FSA money? No. The services have to be incurred between 7/1 of this year and the end of June, and you have to use that money in between that. Okay? Dependent FSA, if you have to put your child in a daycare setting because you work, you can put up to $5,000 in dependent care FSA. Again, it's not taxed, so it's a pretty big tax savings, $1,500. I did this every year. My kids were in the before and after Y program, so if you have any questions, let me know. Anybody have the MySource card for their HRA, FSA? Okay, great. So again, if you participate in the FSA, then you receive it for HRA and FSA. Every time you use the card, you'll get reminders, email reminders that you used it and you have to substantiate or you don't have to substantiate. If you're not getting those reminders, it means we don't have your email address, so we're going to try to get those this year so you have all those. It does have an expiration date on it, so you don't get a new one every year. You'll just get a new one from MasterCard before it expires. Okay? You'll need EOBs to substantiate your HRA and just itemized bills for your FSA. If you don't use the card and you're wondering how can I get reimbursed for my FSA, my HRA, or my CAP fund, this is the website, HR Administrators. If you need any forms, it's also on your employee portal. You'll need a claim form to submit it. If you have any questions, the 1-800 number is there. And actually on another slide, I'll give you your actually claims analyst name and email address that you can email her with any questions. Also, on your employee portals is instructions on how to register at myrsc.com. That's your portal so you can check your own balance. You can see how much money you have left in your FSA, your HRA, your CAP fund. So you can see it online. Once you're registered online, you can download the mobile app onto your tablet or smartphone, and you can check your balance at any time.
Excuse me, Robin, we also have the printed instructions right outside the door.
Oh, okay, on how to register?
Yep.
Perfect. So open enrollment for this year, we need everyone to fill out that form, even if you're waiving. So you need to pick or waive one of the medical plans and pick or waive vision. If you're adding dependents to any of those plans, even if they're covered now, we need your dependent information. Take your time, try to write it legible. We do need social security numbers and dates of birth, and we're asking it back by Friday of next week. A lot of the plans have been returned already. Okay. And again, copies of the presentations are here. If you have any questions for Oxford, you just call the number out on the back of the card. For HR administrators, Deanne is your new claims analyst. So you can call her, you can email her, your spouse can email her, any questions anytime during the year, okay? And her phone number and fax number is there. And then Warner Benefits is my office. Kelly Burnell is there. If you have any questions throughout the year, she's your contact. She's happy to talk to you. She's happy to talk to your spouse, dependents over 18. You can email her at any time. She has a copy of this presentation as well as all your summaries that are listed on your portal. So if you have any questions, you can go here. Because we know insurance doesn't make sense until you have to use it. So if it's 6 months from now, you're like, I forget what was said. You can give Kelly a call. She can resend you the presentation or go over it with you. Okay. I think that's all we had.
Lights coming on.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I feel